Did dating your best friend ruin your friendship? I've been best friends with Rose since our freshman year of college. From the moment we met, it just worked. She was the type of person who could talk to anyone and make them feel like the funniest person in the room. I was the one who made sure she didn't forget to eat or accidentally set something on fire with one of her impulsive ideas. We had the kind of friendship where we could be sitting in silence for an hour and it never felt awkward. Neither of us ever thought of the other that way. It wasn't even a question. Rose dated, I dated, and then we would regroup and analyze everything over takeout. It had been that way for years. Then one night changed everything. We were at a bar, the usual kind of night, just catching up over drinks. Rose was mid-story about something that had happened at work when this guy slid up next to her. At first, she was polite. She laughed him off, gave short answers, and turned her body slightly away from him. He didn't take the hint. He left, but then came back. Twice. By the third time, I could see her patience wearing thin. Without warning, she grabbed my arm and pulled me close. Her voice was light, but I could feel the tension in her grip. "This is my boyfriend," she said, smiling like it was the most obvious thing in the world. I barely had time to react before she leaned into me and rested her head against my shoulder. I hesitated for only a second before wrapping an arm around her waist and giving the guy a look. "Yeah, man, you should probably go." For the first time that night, he actually listened. Rose didn't move right away. She stayed close, her face half hidden against me. It was just a moment, but I remember thinking how different it felt. We spent the rest of the night leaning into the joke. Every time someone looked at us, she would playfully grab my hand or whisper something in my ear like we were sharing a secret. I went along with it, keeping my arm around her whenever someone walked by. We laughed about it when we left, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was different. The next time we hung out, she brought it up first. "You were a really convincing boyfriend," she teased. "You throwing yourself at me was very realistic." I shot back. She grinned, but there was a moment where neither of us said anything. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it wasn't nothing either. Then she said, "You know, maybe we should actually try it." I laughed at first because that's what I do when I don't know what else to say. But she wasn't joking, and suddenly, neither was I. We looked at each other for a beat longer than usual, and then we kissed. It was weird. Not bad, just weird. We decided to give it a shot, but the first real date was a disaster. We picked a nice restaurant, something fancier than we would normally do, and spent the entire meal second-guessing everything. Were we supposed to hold hands? Were we supposed to compliment each other? Were we supposed to sit closer? Everything that had always been easy between us now felt like a performance, and neither of us knew our lines. Halfway through, I set my fork down and sighed. "Are we making a huge mistake?" She looked at me, her expression just as conflicted. The next time we went out, I decided to stop overthinking it. "Why are we trying so hard?" I asked. "We've hung out like this a million times. Let's just be normal." She considered it for a second, then nodded. "Okay, so what do we normally do?" I grinned and waved over the waiter. "2 shots, please." She laughed and leaned back in her chair. "Great idea. I'll take 2 as well." And just like that, it wasn't awkward anymore. By the end of the night, she smirked at me and said, "So now we're just best friends who kiss?" I shrugged. "Pretty much." We both laughed, and for the first time since that night at the bar, everything felt right again.